ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for watching the show. This is your top human rights organization review. I'm your host, Bryce Dolan. Now today on the show, Human Rights Watch calls attention to the pleas and cries for help from the innocent civilians trapped inside Aleppo. The Syrian government and allied forces should immediately take steps to protect civilians and captured fighters as the government retakes control of Aleppo after a deal was reached with armed opposition groups there, Human Rights Watch said. This includes allowing the safe evacuation of civilians and aid deliveries, and protecting civilians from summary executions and arbitrary detention. The United Nations General Assembly should urgently mandate a UN monitoring team to travel immediately to areas of eastern Aleppo, now under government control, to deter future abuses, document crimes that have been committed, and visit detention sites. It has been heart-wrenching to hear the desperate pleas for protection from civilians stuck in the inferno that is Aleppo, said Lama Faki, Deputy Middle East Director at Human Rights Watch. The Syrian authorities should ensure that civilians are allowed to safely leave the city and to go where they want. Human Rights Watch has received worrying reports about possible reprisals against civilians in areas now held by government forces. The UN has said that it has received reports that pro-government forces executed 82 civilians in neighborhoods that have recently come under government control. Local activists told Human Rights Watch that they have heard similar reports. Human Rights Watch reached a Syria civil defense member, a local doctor, and a journalist still in opposition-held Aleppo, each of whom said that they have received reports that entire families had been executed in areas recently taken by government forces. Today, I saw 2 corpses in the street covered in cloth, Ahmed Saeed, a nurse, told Human Rights Watch. They hadn't been moved because no one knows who their relatives are. There's no room in the cemeteries to bury the bodies anymore. He said that families in eastern Aleppo were rationing bread to feed their children. The spokesman for the UN High Commissioner on Human Rights has said that hundreds of men may also have disappeared after leaving eastern Aleppo for government-held areas, also raising concerns about extensive arbitrary detention and enforced disappearances. So these innocent civilians, these families living in Aleppo who are just caught in the crossfire between the rebels and the Russian-backed Syrian government forces, they're just fighting to survive. And when the pro-government forces are moving in and finding them, alleged reports, it hasn't been confirmed, but when there's a number of reports being put out there and told and videos being put on social media, I don't think we can no longer classify it as alleged, but there's these reports of pro-government forces just taking women, children, men into the streets and executing them, and then large amounts of individuals just altogether missing. So really, the UN needs to do something here, and that's what Human Rights Watch is calling for. They're calling on the United Nations to help the innocent people in Aleppo survive towards the end of this firefight. Now that this Syrian conflict is starting to wane here in Aleppo, there are still thousands of innocent people trapped in the city who need help. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to check out this article in its entirety, you can find the link directly below in the description. The link will take you right to the article on its respective website, and I encourage you to do so. But when you do that, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel so you get notified every time a new video is posted. Give our Facebook pages a like, and follow us on Twitter. But that does it for your top human rights organization review. Thank you for watching, ladies and gentlemen. I was your host, Bryce Dolan.